Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're cracking open Canada's constitution to figure out something really fundamental. Who's actually in charge of what? Well, the answer is hiding in plain sight, in a part of the rulebook that affects you way more than you might think. Our guide on this trip is the Constitution Act of 1867. Now, this isn't just some dusty old document. Nope. This is the original blueprint for the entire country. It laid out all the fundamental rules for how Canada is supposed to work. So here's what we've got on the docket. We're going to start with the big picture, then jump right into the great divide of powers between the feds and the provinces. After that, we'll dig into the province's to-do list and see how it shows up in your daily life, from the hospital down the street to the resources under our feet. Okay, let's get into it. Everything, and I mean everything, starts with the Constitution Act of 1867. This is the piece of paper that officially brought the Dominion of Canada into existence and laid out the entire game plan for how it would be run. You can almost think of it as the ultimate instruction manual for running a country. The people who wrote it had to figure out how to manage this huge, diverse new nation. So what did they do? They very carefully divided up all the responsibilities. And trust me, that division of power is the key to, well, everything that comes next. Right at the very heart of the Constitution is this super important split in responsibility. It's like a division of labor, and it's laid out in two key sections that have pretty much shaped every major political debate in Canadian history. And what's so interesting is just how clear this division was supposed to be. On one side, you've got Section 91. It gives the federal government in Ottawa all the big national jobs, like national defense and the economy. But on the other side, and this is our focus today, you have Section 92, which hands a very specific list of more local, more regional duties to the provinces. So, what exactly is on this provincial to-do list? Let's take a closer look at the powers the Constitution gives exclusively to the provinces, the kinds of things that really shape our day-to-day lives in our own communities. So Section 92 gives provinces total control over this whole range of areas. It's the reason you pay provincial income tax. It's why your city has a municipal government. It's why a local business has to register with the province. All these powers, they literally create the fabric of our local communities. Okay, but how does all this legal stuff actually affect you? This isn't just some abstract theory. Let's take some of that kind of dense 19th century language and translate it into real-world things you deal with every single day. You gotta love the old-fashioned language here, right? Eleemosynary institutions. I mean, it's not a phrase you hear thrown around much anymore. It basically just means charities. But the core of this clause, well, that's about a very, very modern concern. And that's the bottom line. When you go to a local hospital or a clinic, its funding, its management, how it operates, that is all a provincial responsibility. This one little clause from way back in 1867 is the entire constitutional foundation for all of Canada's provincially run healthcare systems. Wild, isn't it? Okay, this next one is all about infrastructure and getting around. The key words here are local works and, of course, the exceptions for projects that cross provincial borders. This creates a really clear line in the sand. And this just perfectly illustrates that whole division of power. Your city bus system, your local subway, the provincial highways, all of that is run by the province. But a cross-country railway or an airport that handles international flights, that's a different story. Those fall under federal jurisdiction. And now, we get to what might just be the most powerful, most wide-ranging clause in this entire section. It's just 6 little words: property and civil rights. But boy, do they have a massive impact on your life. This right here is the source of so much of Canada's regional diversity. It is the reason why the rules for, say, renting an apartment or starting a small business or even family law can be so wildly different between Quebec and Alberta. It all comes back to this one specific provincial power. Now, beyond that original 1867 list, there's a much more recent addition that gave provinces major new powers over something incredibly valuable here in Canada: our natural resources. And get this, it wasn't even in the original document. It was added in 1982. And this is a huge deal. Section 92A gives provinces this clear 4-step authority over all the wealth in their land. We're talking everything from exploring for oil and gas, to managing forests, to generating hydroelectricity. This section basically confirms that when it comes to resources, the provinces are in the driver's seat. So you might be thinking, okay, why does a document from 1867 still matter so much today? Well, it's because that division of powers in Section 92 is the direct source of some of the biggest, most heated political debates happening in Canada right now. I mean, this is a classic Section 91 versus Section 92 showdown. You've got a province's constitutional right to develop its resources clashing head-on with the federal government's duty to maintain peace, order, and good government on a huge national issue like climate change. So who wins? To be honest, the courts are still trying to figure that one out. That would be the provinces. Now, we've been focused on Section 92, but the very next part, Section 93, explicitly gives provinces exclusive power over education. And that's why what students learn in history or science class can be so dramatically different from one province to the next. It's just another direct consequence of how this country was designed. And that really is the ultimate question, isn't it? It's the key takeaway from our whole explainer today. Section 92 isn't just some historical list of jobs. It is a living, breathing part of our Constitution that is constantly shaping our country, our politics, and our daily lives. And it forces us to keep asking that crucial question. Have we gotten the balance right?